See? Hey, what did I just get myself into here? Here, oh yes!
My name is Cyril Choquet, and I live for adventure. I travel around the world looking for the biggest, most powerful, and potentially dangerous fish. And that's exactly why I'm back here in Brazil. The Amazon forest is one of the wildest and most dangerous places on the planet. It's massive, but this environment is very fragile. And the biggest fish of the Amazon, growing to over 400 pounds, is a perfect example. The arapaima, also called pirarucu, has been overfished for centuries. And today, this prehistoric fish is still in peril. I've been invited by the Brazilian government to help them protect wild arapaimas from poaching by collecting DNA samples from these monsters. So I'll have to venture deep into the jungle, a place teeming with predators, to see if I can find them.
Anaconda, right there. I'm gonna make a little bit of noise on usually go out here. The piranha's attention.
And when I find the arapaima, I can tell you that with such a monster on the line, I'm in for the fight of my life.
Look at the size of that thing!
I'm back in Brazil, in Manaus, a city with a population of over 2 million people, right in the heart of the Amazon forest. I've been coming to Brazil for many years because the Amazon is home to some of the biggest and most powerful fish in the world, like the vampire fish, the explosive peacock bass, and a massive shark-like paraiba.
Paraiba! Yes!
But as wild as this place is, pollution, deforestation, and poaching are putting a lot of pressure on its ecosystem, and the arapaima is one of the most affected species. Before I start my search for arapaima, the government has invited me to spend a day with the police so I can witness for myself just how strong the demand for wild arapaima meat is on the black market. In 2001, the government passed a law making it illegal to commercially fish wild arapaima.
See? Hey, what did I just get myself into here?
Estão decidindo agora qual a rota cada uma das.
It's telling me that we have two teams entering from two different sides of the market, the two main entries. That way they can't escape. Because its meat is so highly valued, poaching and the illegal trade of arapaima, or pirarucu, as it's known here in Brazil, is devastating its population. Each year, more than 7,000 tons of arapaima disappear from the Amazon basin, and the species is still threatened. Right now, we're on our way for the first operation of the day. We're gonna bust a market, and I'm in the undercover vehicle because we're gonna be the first arriving at the location. But there's two other teams of cops. They're gonna take the market and sandwich. And from what he was saying, that there might be some pirarucu meat, illegal pirarucu meat. They had someone investigate the location for the last week, and they're pretty sure they're gonna bust someone. To be honest, I'm feeling a little nervous. You know, I don't really know what I'm getting myself into. The fact that they put me in a bulletproof jacket is not a good thing. We just got radio confirmation. Our contact in the market just spotted a vendor selling illegal wild arapaima meat. He's trying to escape, so we have to rush. Illegal. That's illegal pirarucu meat right there. Last week only, they caught 2,000 kilos. That's about 4,500 pounds of pirarucu meat here. That's why I wanted to show you this. You know, like I don't really take any personal interest of going into the market and busting people, but I just wanted to show you how bad it is, how bad the situation is. We found the arapaima meat, but we're still looking for the suspect. And the officers start questioning the vendors. Let me tell you, I've done quite a few markets around the world, and usually it's good vibes, you know, high-fiving, a lot of people there, but today it's not the case. The fact that I'm wearing this is,
Esse é o lago. Essa guia, ela fala o que ela autoriza, que é o pirarucu.
You see that tag there? That means that it's legal. It was raised in a fishery, in a farm. If it didn't have that, that means it's wild fish, and that's what they're trying to find here. After a long search, the officers finally find a suspect, and while they arrest him, we collect the illegal meat. Muito pesado. It's actually a lot of bags, and those bags are really heavy. They're at least 100 pounds each.
Instituições de caridade que vai fazer a doação.
Okay. At least the meat is not going to get lost. They're going to use it in hospitals and daycares and a lot of good things. It's too bad that people don't realize the consequences of their actions, especially when it comes to killing wildlife. Tomorrow, I'm meeting with a scientific research team that is working to save the arapaima, and I'm going to help him in any way I can. But in the meantime, I want to see for myself if there's any arapaima left around the city of Manaus. I hiked to a remote section of river, where the police told me there might still be wild arapaimas. Wow, did you see that? I don't know about fish, but there's definitely caimans here. I'd better watch out. Caimans are great at sneaking up on their prey. The slow water on this side looks like a good fishing spot, but it's not ideal for arapaima.
You know, the only thing that seems a little bit off to me is that moving water there. It's not fast moving water, but still, there's a little bit of current. Normally, arapaimas, they don't like moving water.
But since I walked all the way here, I'm still gonna give it a shot. Oh.
Come on. Get this one. It's a big fish.
Whatever this fish is, it's really strong, and it's pulling me in. But with caimans around, I don't want to get too deep in this river.
He just caught me by surprise. This fish was not fighting that much, and then all of a sudden, boom!
I still don't know what it is, but it's huge. The drag is almost locked on my reel, and the fish is still headed for the underwater branches. If I don't stop it, I'll lose it for sure.
I want to keep him away from that log. Right here.
It's a really big fish, but I know that arapaimas tend to jump in combat, and this fish isn't even coming close to the surface.
It's a filhote. It's a small paraiba.
It may not be an arapaima, but it's a big fish, and all this splashing around might really get the caiman's attention. I need to bring this fish in quick.
Yeah, beautiful fish, beautiful paraiba.
Actually, this fish is called a filhote. The same animal can have different names at different sizes. Under 100 pounds, it's considered a small one, so that's why in Portuguese, filhote means the son. And over 100 pounds, it's a paraiba. The only problem is that the fact that this guy is here means that I'm not in a good arapaima spot. I think the water's moving too fast. This guy's like moving water. I'd like to catch a couple more, but you know, I'd better get going if I want to catch an arapaima. I may not have found an arapaima, but it's still a good sign that there are monster fish around. Tomorrow, I'm meeting the biologists, but right now, I really want to see some arapaimas up close, and I know the perfect place to do it. You see, the legitimate arapaima farms I was telling you about? Well, this is it. Today, commercial fishing for arapaima in the wild is banned, but demand for its meat is still strong, which is why the fish is heavily farmed, and sadly, poached as well. And while I'm here, I want to test the strength of these animals. This is a bait that they put on a rope. There's no hook in it. It's just made to give me a really good idea of how strong the pirarucu are. My gosh, the strength of the animal. Look at him, doesn't want to let go. Check this out. Look at what it did to the bait. It literally crushed it. That's exactly how our arapaima feed. They have a really big mouth, and anything that it can fit through their mouth, they do. And once it's in the mouth, they use their huge bony tongue to actually crush the bait against the roof of their mouth, and then they swallow it. And that's exactly what these guys did to this poor peacock. Now let me tell you, I can't wait to get one in the wild.
That was a lot of fun, but it's kind of sad that it's easier to find arapaima in the farm than in the wild. Which is why I'm meeting the biologists to help with their work protecting the species. The last time I was here, at the Institute of Biological Sciences, researchers asked me to go deep into the Amazon rainforest. They needed help collecting samples of peacock bass fins, and they know I love traveling to places where it's difficult for them to go themselves.
That's exactly where I was a few years back, right here. Isini?
Hey,
Oh,
Phil!
¿cómo estás?
Estoy bien.
Muito
Nice
tempo.
to see you again. Come here, I was waiting for you. Let me introduce you
All
to
right.
someone.
You're-
This is Thomas
You're
Herbeck.
Thomas. Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to finally talk to you too, of course.
Thomas is an expert specialized in the collection and study of data from the arapaima population in Brazil. And he briefs me on what the team needs.
So close to Manaus, there's some lakes which have apparently natural populations of arapaima, and they're supposed to be really big. Okay, and so what we would like to do is we would like, if you can, go out and basically sample some of these arapaimas. All you need to do is take just slow fin clips.
So just a fin clipping, right? I cut the
Very
a
small
little bit of
fin
the
clip.
caudal fin.
So if we can determine that the animals are wild, that they're not just escaped captives, okay, then I think it's better that it's much easier, or at least for the government, it's much easier to implement some sort of a conservation program. They can focus on that area and try to conserve it.
I'm dying to see the results of this.
Me too.
I'm pretty excited.
All right, sounds good.
My mission is clear. Collect DNA samples to determine where wild arapaima still exist. Not just farmed fish that have escaped, so they can be better protected in the future. Thomas and Izeni set up a meeting for me tomorrow morning with Kitita, my guide for this mission. But today, they've sent me to a place where there might still be arapaimas near Manaus.
Not sure I'll catch anything here around Manaus, but we'll see. It's pretty good in there. Looks like it would even be a good spot for arapaima. It's pretty calm waters.
I'm tying on a thin but strong leader to help my odds of getting a bite. The best way to catch an arapaima is using bait. The thing with bait is, once it's in the water, there isn't much to do but wait.
It's so hot and humid right now, you have no idea. And then I'm telling you, I think it must be 100% humidity in the air. And it feels like 200%. It's really bad. Aqui tem pirarucu?
Tem, mas é um rio cheio, né? Aí o peixe se espalha, muito difícil.
Mas tem?
pega, tem.
Sim. Pequeno ou grande?
Tem médio, grande é lago fechado e tem grande.
Sim, é. Yeah. Oh. Fish on.
This fish is really strong, but I can't tell what it is yet.
That's a big fish. Come back here. I was really not expecting that, but
These fish are really strange. They're part of the same family as piranhas, but they barely eat meat. Still, they're super powerful. The boat is really high off the water, and it's a pain to land this fish.
yes, tambaqui. Let me tell you, this fish is really unique. Look, it's got human-like teeth. It's pretty weird, huh? Isn't it? Its diet mainly consists of fruit and nuts that fall from the trees, and I'm pretty sure that this fish was here feeding on those little berries that you see here in the brush there. I'm pretty sure that there must be a few tambaqis down there feeding on that. But those fish are also omnivorous because they'll take advantage of any kind of food that they can find. Proof is, he took my bait, and my bait was fish. The fight they give you for this size of fish. Do you see that? E esse fruta se come?
Come
A
também.
gente pode comer também?
Pode também. Toda uma fruta que um peixe come, a gente pode comer também.
Ah,
faz
então,
bem, faz bem pro peixe e faz bem pra nós.
A ver se você está dizendo a verdade. Muito bom.
Well, at least I caught something today, but I doubt there are any arapaimas around here. Anyway, it's getting late, and it's time to head back to Manaus. Tonight, there's a big party in town, a kind of carnival.
It's my last night in Manaus, so might as well have some fun. Check this out. I asked for whiskey and Coke. That's a whiskey and Coke Brazilian style. Put me this of whiskey and that room for Coke. Yes, Brazil! I'm telling you, it's like dancing in a sauna here.
Que bom! Obrigado!
Last night finished pretty late, actually early this morning, but I'm super excited to meet Catita. He's the guide trusted by the research team to take me out to some remote spots where huge arapaimas have been seen.
Hey, Catita! Olá!
Tudo bem?
Você Catita, sim?
Sim, como está? Bem?
Muito bem, muito bem. Fica lá. 2 horas e meia. 2 horas e meia. According to him, it's about 2.5 hours to get to the first spots where the arapaimas have been spotted. Look at this. This is a truly unique phenomenon. It's called the meeting of the waters, encontrage das águas in Portuguese. And that's exactly what it is. Here you see the Rio Negro's waters. They're dark, acidic, and they meet with the Rio Solimões waters that are more muddy in a way. You know, that's why they have this color. But what's unique is that the waters, both rivers, don't mix until a few miles downriver to form the mighty Amazon River because of the difference in density, temperature, and velocity. As for us, we'll be heading up the waters of the Solimões River in search of the wild arapaima.
Here we go, on a mission to catch the wild arapaima. But before we start, Catita explains that we have to get permission from a local village chief to access some remote lakes on his territory.
Samuel! Boa tarde. Tudo bom, Samuel?
Olá, Manuel? Muito prazer.
Trouxe esse senhor aqui para estomatar e pegar um pirarucu grande.
Pirarucu tem, a gente indo pescar provavelmente a gente pega.
E pirarucu grande tem?
100 quilos, 100 e tal quilos.
The chief explains that the arapaima had almost disappeared, but now that efforts are being made to protect them, he's seeing more of them around.
That's confirmation that this pirarucu here, arapaima, he was telling me that back in the day, actually, there were way more arapaimas around here, and huge ones, but there was a lot of commercial fishing that was done around here in the lakes. And apparently now, there's fewer fish, but he says that there still might be monsters out there. It's just he's just unsure. Muito obrigado, muito.
Now that we have the chief's approval, he and another villager help us drag a boat to a closed lake where they've seen huge arapaimas in the past.
They're gonna give me a heart attack.
Yeah.
I can't wait to fish, but before we do, we have to catch some fresh bait first. And here, one of the most common bait fish is piranha, because the water is teeming with them.
I'm preparing a line right now. Metal leader, metal on a hook, on a tiny hook, to catch the ultimate predatory fish of the Amazon. Look what we're using for bait. Beef. Chunks of beef. Get a little bit of noise on the surface like that. Usually draws the piranha's attention. They think it's a prey in distress on top of the water, or fish or bird or whatever, and usually draws their attention that makes them really aggressive.
These waters are infested with piranhas, and it doesn't take long before one of them takes my bait.
Yes.
All right, bait. They'll do just fine.
With the ball.
Piranhas often feed in groups, so it's not long before I get another bite. There we go. Another piranha.
Oh, this one is really nice. Look at the purple hue on the back. Same fish, just different colors on it's more obvious. The purple is way more obvious on this fish.
And look at the teeth on this guy. Now that we've got piranhas and other small fish as bait, it's time to finally start fishing for arapaima. you know that there's some piranha, live piranha in the bucket there, and I totally forgot, and I put my hand right in there, looking for another type of bait. O piranha come? See? Check this out, what the piranha has done to the bait. It was you who did that, right? No good. Mean guy. Mean little guy.
I think I'd better let this piranha go before he eats all the bait in the bucket. Oh, here we go, here we go. Come on, take it, take it.
False alarm. I really thought there was something on this line. That's exactly what I thought. The piranhas took care of him. You know what's really amazing about the Amazon is that you could be burning up in the sun, literally, and I'm not kidding. 5 minutes later, solid rain. Sometimes it lasts though, sometimes it doesn't.
Luckily, this time it doesn't last. Hours pass, and still no bite. I'm starting to doubt that we'll ever find an arapaima. But then, finally, I get a bite.
That's a big fish. That's a big fish. Ah, that. É bom, é grande. Oh, yes. Oh.
Arapaimas are big, but can be fragile, and I have to release this one quickly before it gets too tired.
I gotta put this fish in the water really quick. The water is really warm, and the stress of the fight.
This is the species of fish I'm after, but I can tell the fight really tired it out, and I don't want to risk taking the time to collect the fin clipping.
I put this fish back in the water right away. He felt like it was really tired already. He was going on the upside down, and that's not a good sign, so that's why I put this fish right back into the water. But it's confirmation they're here in this bigger arapaima. But let me tell you, that was not a monster one. It was still a decent sized fish, but that's not the monster arapaima I'm looking for.
Obrigado, amigo. Bom peixe.
Sim, valeu.
Não é um monstro, mas é bom.
Sim.
Even if I didn't have time to take a fin sample, at least now we have proof that arapaima are around here. But it's been a long day, so Katita invites me to have dinner at his friend's ranch. It's a beautiful place, and everyone around here is really friendly. The food looks delicious, and they've grilled one of the most popular fish in Brazil. The same fish I caught earlier, the tambaqui.
Yes, tambaqui. The fish is so big, look, it looks like I just got some ribs. This is so cool, honestly. I'm so privileged right now to be invited for supper. É muito bom.
We've barely finished eating when the owner of the ranch, Norberto, wants me to try one of the local products.
Guaraná? Sim. Pode ralar e afrodisíaco. Dormo com ela. Sim.
Guarana is a natural stimulant, but I didn't know it was also an aphrodisiac. So I'm not sure why they're insisting that I drink it.
I'm not sure that was a good idea, you know? I'm gonna end up spending the entire day tomorrow just like that. I got a situation here.
Now that supper's over,
I want to talk to the chief of the village about where I might find huge wild arapaimas. The chief tells me of a distant lake, feared for its gigantic caimans, but he also knows that huge arapaimas hide under thick vegetation there. Arapaima is way over 200 pounds. The only problem? They're almost impossible to catch.
Saúde. A ese lago. Ao pirarucu enorme que vamos sacar de ese lago.
After all this talk about fishing, I really need to catch something tonight. So I get creative, fishing without a hook.
Sometimes in Brazil, after a little bit of a cachaça, you start fishing for toads. Grande vai pegar.
This morning, I realize how quiet and beautiful this place really is. But I can't stay. I need to focus on my mission. The biologists Thomas and Izeni are relying on me to bring in arapaima samples. So we're heading for the mysterious lake the chief told me about. We go as far as possible in the main boat, and then pull a smaller one through the forest.
Guarana works. I didn't sleep all night. Today I feel strong.
Considering there are big caimans here, and the arapaimas are almost impossible to get to, I'm beginning to understand why hardly anyone ever comes here.
That's the mysterious lake they were telling me about.
I love isolated lakes like this one. Since they're barely accessible, they're usually the places where you find the most fish, and especially the big ones.
Can you see? Did you hear that splash? They're telling me that this monster arapaima is in this lake. The problem is that they're not in the open water of the lake. They hide. They hide always underneath that mattress. You know, like here, it's an island made of vegetation, but underneath they can swim underneath all the way to those trees there.
I'm still gonna try to catch a monster, but it's gonna be really tough. The fish are hidden under thick vegetation. Even if I get a bite, I'm not sure how I'll be able to get a huge fish out of there.
Now I understand why the locals can't catch this fish. It's just almost impossible, honestly. It's just unreal.
To have any kind of chance in this thick vegetation, I need something that will allow me to pull even harder than a rod and reel.
The only thing I can think of is going with this 200-pound line, monofilament, directly, and a hook. So basically a hand line. Yeah, I was thinking of going with my shark hand line, or my giant grouper or shark hand line, whatever you want to call it. And they were like, maybe that's a bit overkill.
Yeah, it's the same line I used to catch a huge bull shark in Florida. And the arapaima here can grow to the same size. We're moving deeper into the grass beds, but the guys are getting really nervous, and I quickly understand why.
Aqui passa o caimán, o jacaré. Jacaré.
I never actually thought a caiman would be able to attack people in a boat, until one of my last trips in the Amazon, when a villager told me a crazy story.
Na beira da canoa?
Beira da canoa.
Pegou na canoa?
Pegou quase, pegou na beira, assim.
Some big caimans aren't afraid of boats, so I understand why Kitita and the chief are nervous around here.
Did you hear that? I tell you, that's one of the weirdest fishing situations I've ever been in. This is almost blind fishing to the extreme.
Arapaimas have the amazing ability to breathe air outside the water. So when they come to the surface, it's usually to breathe air in low oxygen waters. But sometimes, it means they're chasing prey. And from the splashes I'm hearing, it sounds like they're hunting. But right now, it feels like they're hunting everything but my bait. Here we go, here we go. The line's really burning my hands. I don't know if I can hold this fish much longer. huge fish somewhere beneath this vegetation, and it's so big I can barely stop it. I use all my weight to try to get some like that.
Oh no! Oh no! No! The size of that fish. Unstoppable. There was nothing I could do, honestly, guys. See, I was just pulling. Unstoppable. The boat. This thing moved the boat all the way here. He got off the hook. I was pretty sure the fish broke the line, but no, he got off the hook, which is a good thing because he's not swimming around with a hook in its mouth. I don't think they're farmed fish. They're definitely not farmed, those fish. Look, this is as wild as it gets.
It's pointless to try to catch an arapaima in these holes because they're almost impossible to get out. These fish can be well over 300 pounds, and that's probably why people rarely catch them here.
Yoroku, I'll be back.
Well, I thought I had done some pretty extreme headlining with groupers, giant groupers, sharks, sailfish. I can tell you that was something. There's so much structure, unstoppable. It's like trying to stop a freight train. You can't do it.
I haven't managed to collect a single fin sample from a wild arapaima yet. I really need to get some if I want to help the research team protect the species against poaching. The chief thinks my work for the research is important, so to keep my spirits up, he's invited me to share a drink at his home.
É bom, muito bom. E a gente quanto tempo vivendo aqui?
50 e poucos anos.
50 e poucos anos. Aqui, no mesmo lugar.
Manuel tells me how important it is to live in harmony with our environment, which can provide all we need if we take care of it.
I'm telling you, this guy's life, I think he's just got it. You know, like we Westerners and people that live in the cities, we always want more things, more objects, more money, more whatever. You know, it's always more, and in the end, it's what more stress. Whereas he eats his own chickens, he's got his own fruit, his own vegetables, he's got his own everything, and he doesn't have much, but in the end, I think he's more happy than a lot of people.
This is my last day in Brazil, and I still haven't collected even one fin sample from an arapaima. Catita can't come with me today, so I'll have to venture alone into the jungle.
Negro, coco negro. Sim. E esse aqui é o lago que a informação que eu tenho que tem muito tem muitos paus.
Muito obrigado por eso. No sé. Check this out. This is my map. You go straight through the woods, and then you're gonna come up to a river, apparently dark water, black water. You can give it a shot there, and if you don't find any fish there, keep going through the woods all the way to a lake, apparently green color, green muddy water type lake with a lot of logs in there. That's my map, guys. That's my plan of the day. Just to show you how hostile the environment is here. Even the plants have a way to defend themselves. Look at the thorns on that thing.
Luckily for me, the storm doesn't last long, and eventually I found the river Catita told me about.
Anaconda, right there. That's a pretty big one. Beautiful animal. I've caught an anaconda before in the Amazon. It was a bit smaller than this one.
Pega a foquinha.
That's a pretty solid one. This one is over 10 feet. I'd like to show it to you, but it's a bit big. You know, I don't want to take any risk for nothing.
Anacondas can grow to almost 30 feet long, and there's just one more thing I need to be careful of.
Looks good, but it looks infested with snakes. I think it opens up into a lake there, though. I'm gonna go check it out.
I hope that Catita's information is good, and that there really is a lake in this direction. And if there is, I really hope there are huge arapaimas in it.
Yes, that's gotta be a lake he was talking about.
I have to walk carefully, since there could be caimans lying on the bank, sunning themselves.
A small one. Something came up on the surface over there. There was a small one. I don't know, it might be an arowana, I'm not sure.
I really feel good about this lake. Lost and wild, just the way I like it. This is definitely my kind of place, and it feels really fishy.
Oh my gosh. For sure there's a big arapaima in here. I saw it there, came up to the surface. That's a big one. I threw the bait right in the area where it surfaced to gulp air.
I keep throwing my bait in the spot where I saw a fish breathing on the surface, but no bite.
There's something that's happening with this fish. They're not taking the bait, so they must be seeing either the hook or the leader and the leader material. So I think I'm gonna downsize to 80-pound fluorocarbon leader, which is way more subtle, almost invisible in the water, and a smaller hook. So I'm going from this to that, and a much smaller line, much less resistant line, but at least I'm pretty sure they won't see it.
Come on. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Right here. Oh yeah.
It's a big fish, but there's a problem.
It's stuck under a tree over there. But it's a monster fish.
The fish swam around a branch, and that's bad news, because the line could break or the fish could spit the hook. I know there are more than just fish in here, but I have no choice. I have to wade in and try to unsnag the line.
I just lost a really big fish. There's so much dead wood on this part of the lake. The fish swam under a couple of logs. That's it, lost him. Got off the hook.
After waiting for more than an hour, I finally get another bite. Yes, fish on.
Oh yes!
It's amazing the power this fish has, and yet he's just a small arapaima. This one may not be that big, but I'm sure that there are enormous ones in this lake.
That's a baby arapaima, but I've seen a much bigger one there surface. This one's still nice, you know? At least it's confirmation they're here.
It might be small, but at least I'll be able to take a DNA sample for the research team.
That's a baby arapaima, let me tell you. His grandpa is swimming around in this lake somewhere. That's what I love about circle hooks. See, he's hooked right in the corner of the mouth. No harm to this fish at all.
I'm taking a tiny sample from the tip of the caudal fin, which is painless for the animal.
The little thing there, that's the fin clipping. He's gonna be really happy. That's exactly what they needed. Yes.
I've got one sample, but I need more. And I know there are monsters in here somewhere. The forest is dense along the banks, and I'm forced to walk in the water. I know there are piranhas, caimans, and anacondas lurking around, but I have to get closer to where I'm sure I saw a big arapaima.
There's a big arapaima that came up to the surface over there to breathe. I think he's heading to the left.
I'm aiming right where the fish is headed. Now, I just hope he's hungry.
My God, look at all the dead wood in this part of the lake. Branches, trunks, laid down on the bottom everywhere. Even if I hook up, it's gonna be a challenge to land the fish. A real challenge. Oh, oh, oh. Fish. Yep, he's on. He's on. Oh yeah.
It's a big fish. It's huge. It's the fish I've been looking for. And to avoid losing it, I have to get in the water to go around the branch that the line is tangled in. All right, it's untangled. Now, I can't give this fish any room to maneuver, or it could get wrapped around a branch again. But the problem is, it's super powerful and pulls me in with it.
Oh yeah!
Oh my gosh! I can't believe it. Look at the size of this fish.
With all the splashing, I can't see a thing. And knowing what could be swimming in here, I'm dying to get back to the shallow water.
I can't believe it! Look at the size of that thing! That's what I've been chasing!
All right, let's take a fin clipping on this fish real quick so I can get back in the water. Beautiful, beautiful. I can't believe it. Such a spectacular animal. It's literally armored plated. Look at the scales. They're like an armor that was used in medieval times, sort of like a scale mail. Oh my gosh. It's no wonder caimans and piranhas can't even get their teeth through them. See what it just did now? It took a breath, because those fish, they're air breathers. They live in very low oxygen water. Like here, this lake has almost no oxygen, plus the water is really warm. So that's why they have this ability to come up to the surface and gulp air. All right. Got all I need right there. For Yuzeni, she's gonna be really happy with this.
I've always believed in fishing with respect, in harmony with nature, but not everyone shares the same values when it comes to animals. I'm glad to see that countries like Brazil are committing to protect their natural resources and wildlife. I came to the Amazon to help protect the arapaima, a powerful and prehistoric fish. And it was definitely a great adventure. Finding wild arapaimas was tough, but it was nothing compared to the incredible fight they gave me. I was really happy to help the biologists and the research institute, and I hope their work will lead to greater protection for the arapaima in the future. Around the world, there are amazing fish on the brink of extinction, but there's still hope for their survival. And whenever I can, I'll do my part to help their cause.
After catching that arapaima in the wall, I said to myself, I have to go back to the farm.
Man, that Piroku just came ballistic right for my face.